Hey, welcome guys. Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and today we are going to take some time as more of a PSA just to kind of look through eBay. There's been a number of listings that certainly have caught my attention, and I think because of the most recent interview that we did on the live coin Q&A channel with a certain Joe Cronin, who is an author of the book Mint Errors to Die For, along with a esteemed error specialist. It certainly brought up some pretty interesting topics of conversation. All right, and if you guys were fortunate enough to jump onto that live stream that we had just last night, as a matter of fact, then you would have received quite a bit of very useful information. But really, the only thing that was ever discussed was identifying errors that aren't. And I got kind of curious because I'm pretty sure I've seen a number of coins, because I do the Pocket Change Market Report every week, where we chronicle recent sales of error and variety coins, and just really identifying the true marketable coins that people really do find. And I have come across through my research and my findings a few very peculiar listings, and we're going to talk about what they are. Number one, we're going to talk about what they aren't. Number two, and number three, why do people sell these, and what is the science and psychology about doing it, and how does that benefit the seller or the buyer? You know, it can be twofold. So we're in errors. We are in sold listings on eBay, and these are all, of course, from the last 90 days, which comes out to 23,273 total completed sold listings. The one thing that I could deduce from this particular number is that the error coin market is notable and robust, but it is at the forefront of any sort of money-making opportunity, and people of the unscrupulous kind recognize this. And what you don't want to do is get caught up in this rapture that some of these folks are trying to push on collectors and investors. You just don't, because the stakes are undeniably high, number one. Number two, there's probably no way that you could recoup some of the potential losses, especially if you don't act on a refund within 90 days. All right, so that's important. So I went with the highest priced items from the top. The reason why I did this is that some of the highest priced coins that are not errors, they're high stakes. You know, there's a lot to lose. Yeah, you could always return a coin, but at the end of the day, it's a time waster. It's a money waster, because you got to pay for the shipping to send it back. You got to pay for the gas in your automobile to get it back to the post office or UPS or FedEx or however you want to send it back, among a few other things, you know. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of those bullseye type coins, some of the red flags out there in the world of eBay, and really talk about them. All right, so this first one is some sort of Bitcoin metal. I don't know enough about these to really kind of hedge, any sort of hypothesis on why this thing sold for almost $40,000. But I'm sure because of cryptocurrency and just the world of Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything like that, there's probably a pretty good reason why that this sold for the amount of money it did. Well, as we all know, cryptocurrency is not a physical type of money at all. Seeing something that is an actual Bitcoin coin is a little bit strange, if not maybe a little bit unsettling. So unless you really know your stuff about these Bitcoin, I don't even know what you call them, tokens, I guess, metals, I would certainly just heed caution, because this is not really where the money is. I mean, $39,000 sounds like the price of 1 unit of Bitcoin. You know, if you were going to trade for it on, like Robinhood, or one of those sites where you invest in crypto, what Coinbase and a few others. I don't know. But anyways, as we scroll down, the first one is going to be kind of like the highlight coin of the video. You guys saw it in the thumbnail. 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half dollar double nose errors. And this shows up as $8,000 or best offer. The green line slashed across it means one thing. It didn't sell for $8,000. Which means the best offer was accepted. Now, there is a lot of deception by throwing a coin out there for $8,000 or best offer, if it is indeed not an error. And another red flag, zero feedback seller, located in this area in California. So that's SoCal. And taking a quick close look, I mean, it says double nose errors. All right, so I don't know. I mean, this is the main image right here, okay? Which, if you were going to sell any sort of main error coin, you would focus your thumbnail picture, your main picture for the listing, as being that error, a close-up of that error, or that close-up of that double to die, or that repunched mint mark, or the transitional. But the crop job on here is absolutely horrid. If you were going to sell a coin for $8,000, obviously you want it to be professionally done if you're going to be taken seriously. But it is a confirmed listing because there's no relisted, anything. I don't see any doubling. All right, I don't see anything on this coin. As a matter of fact, the coin looks like it's been cleaned. It's got scratches all over the place. This is a nothing coin. And for the people that are just getting into the hobby and they don't know a lot of the different type of error attributions or varieties out there, you could get into some serious trouble, either as a seller or a buyer. Because obviously you don't want to sell stuff like this thinking that you have something that's not, and then throw out a really big number. All right, so we've come to the determination that this is nothing. This is shit, is what this is. This is a nothing coin, worth exactly face value. I mean, the mere fact that this person didn't put the Denver mint mark in this listing title means that this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So why does someone put this up for a high amount of money and then all of a sudden it comes up sold? Well, there's a few different reasons. I think the main one is to set a market for this phantom type of error. All right, this make-believe error that is not in any sort of publication. I mean, just look at Joe Cronin's book, Mint Errors to Die For. If you guys haven't bought one, you need to buy one. It's going to be the best $70, $75 that you'll spend on a book. There are books that are way more expensive, by the way, so don't balk at that price. Setting the market. Giving the false belief to people that actually check completed sold listings that this is an actual legitimate error that's worth its weight in money. There are websites that you could use to check and see what the best offer price is on a coin like this. Okay, 130 point. There's also Worth Point, but Worth Point, you do need a subscription. You need to pay that every month in order to use that service. But 130 point I like to use because it's free. But let's say, for argument's sake, that it sold for $2,000. All right, as the seller, you don't have to, you can have someone, a buddy of yours, throw an offer in on this, and then they would accept it and then just cancel the order afterwards. And it would still show up in eBay completed sales as a confirmed sale. And that is market manipulation. There's a lot of shystiness going on here. A lot of A lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of, trapdoors and, just backdoor cigar rooms, with a gambling hall and all sorts of other weird shit. That is why, the main reason why that people throw these on there is to prep the potential future sale of coins like it. And again, with the way that cryptocurrency and the stock market has been running, where people are making just an obscene amount of money, and they're turning that money into physical assets. 50% of the people that are invested in crypto don't know about coins. They don't know about errors. They don't know about varieties. They probably know very little about key dates and things of that nature. So, again, this seller is preying on the weak-minded when it comes to coin education. Can't even talk today. For the life of me, I can't talk. But that's one such example. That one out there is an obvious scam job. And what I did was typed in error, and it brought up all of these. Now, you'll see more of them, obviously. A lot of these are slabbed, so a lot of them are indeed legit. But you will come across one that just kind of like, it really rubs you the wrong way. What is this? 1999 Australian $2 coin, major error, multi-strike mint error 1 of. Sold for some sort of amount of money, okay? The fact that the original asking price was $2,650 with a slash through it also seems like market manipulation, even though they're in Australia. I looked at this coin earlier, and there's nothing going on there. It's just the coin is heavily corroded. It appears like it's been in the ground for, since 1999 to get this kind of appearance on there. But again, and a low feedback rating, 23. You're not going to find. And it's relisted too. We'll have to check that out. You're not going to find big coin dealers selling stuff like this, especially ungraded, especially when they have an extraordinary amount of value. I would say anything above $1,000 most certainly needs to be graded by PCGS or NGC. Okay, a little word of advice. You don't have to grade every type of error. An error coin could be $400, $500, $600 as long as it's identifiable, which a lot of them are. People know the difference between a double struck in color error coin compared to one that is a manufactured vice job, a garage experiment of sorts. They're really easy to tell apart. But here's another coin right here. That's funny. Okay, you got the cropped version, and you also have the version on the nice pink baby blankie. Nice background with a big old huge ding there. This thing is obviously a damaged coin that has no numismatic merit whatsoever. Again, another attempt at pulling the wool over people's eyes and taking advantage of a market in which there are a lot of lesser educated folks in numismatics. And we see this all the time. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the relisted item. Apparently it was a canceled purchase. Probably a dip and duck type of deal, seller posts the coin, and a buddy of his or whoever he knows throws an offer in and kind of artificially manipulates the market to make it appear like that this is a coin with any sort of merit whatsoever. So there's another example right there. And you can always make out the very, very bad coins. Like here's a pair right here, back to back, sold for $2,500. A 1999 error penny, which we know this is a copper-coated zinc date. And when we click in here, again, hey, look at that, zero feedback from South Carolina. Looking to, again, deceive because you could sell a coin under false pretenses and collect the money and then close out your PayPal and eBay account. It's that simple. You could just disappear and make off with $2,500 of someone's money. More than likely, it's going to be eBay's money because you are covered under the returns policy as item not described. But what I do see here is zinc rot on Lincoln's face. And there's nothing special or cool about this. This is ultra deceptive. $2,500, one bid, which means it was thrown on there as a, regular auction format type of deal and not a buy it now listing where you can just add it to the cart. But yeah, here's another case where someone using what very little knowledge that they have, probably using Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube and checking out some of those videos and then trying to, turn a piece of coal into a diamond. Come to find out when you crush it too hard, it's just all crumbs. And that's what that is. That's another example. And then the next one that I wanted to talk about is this quarter right here, because there's been a fair number of error coins here in the last 12 to 18 months. And we all know this. There was another double did penny. Wow, there's a whole ton of them. 2021 era Roosevelt dime. I think these guys are all related in some way. They're probably from the shallow end of the gene pool. But anyways, Salt River Bay quarter. Denver. See, this one's been relisted too. So obviously, it's been kicked. This listing's gone. But we have another seller, zero feedback, brand new. It's like the TV shows. Like, have you guys seen the show Bird Notice? And one of my favorites, by the way, from like 10 years ago. And they would always use what they call a burner phone, right? Like they don't want to be tracked to a phone, so they buy a cheap, crappy piece of crap phone. They use it and then they throw it away. And it's kind of like eBay seller, accounts. They do it the same way as well. People will just come along that they'll provide and furnish, a fake name and fake address, maybe for an abandoned home in the area or something like that. And they're going to try and win over, some shystiness, in this case, $2,500 of some poor sap's hard-earned money. All right, so nothing going on there, and then we have another one for $2,500. It seems like $2,500 is the easiest amount of money for someone to grab a hold of from someone. $2,500 for a double did penny, which doesn't even make any sense. That's nothing. 2021 era Roosevelt dime, and just for shits and giggles, that one's gone. So someone reported that one. This Roosevelt error dime right here. Zero feedback. What do you know? Another different, listing. This one's been relisted. So it's just, it's laughable to see this stuff. And then now this one, that relisted item has been reported and kicked off of eBay. And I think that's just people doing their due diligence. Here's another one here. This one perhaps could be, same seller. But different backgrounds. That's crazy. 1961D double die. So if you're spelling double die, like you're going to, tie-dye a t-shirt, then you have no business selling coins at all. This item is hard to come by. It's not a lot of these. A little bit of broken English here. I'm willing to bet we are not a high school graduate. Zero feedback. Good old Minnesota. Someone's trying to score $2,500 on this penny. And, unfortunately, there are people that, again, are naive enough to not do the research in advance. Like, here's one right here. $2,500 for a mercury dime. It's a mercury dime. The only mercury dime that's worth at that grade $2,500 is probably a 1916D. But then again, we have another seller with zero feedback. And those are the scariest to deal with. I've had success with folks that have just started on the scene with zero feedback, but you have to be absolutely careful about what you're buying and always use the feedback to your advantage. Here's a 1986 dime. P missing me in one dime. 8 feedback. I mean, shoot, I would sacrifice an 8 feedback seller rating to score $2,500. I mean, what we have here, we got a little bit of a strike through. And, you know, strike throughs do have and hold a minimal premium on the secondary market. I mean, realistically, you would have to take out some of these zeros. It's probably worth about $2.40. I mean, no joke. It's really worth that. For you know, it's a Roosevelt dime. They're a little bit tougher to find strike throughs. So that's another, you know, another one there that I think it's kind of attributed in the title. I mean, obviously, this person doesn't know how to correctly write out the listing description to really grab your eyes. And you know, here's, I mean, really, I read this and I'm like, was this a 6-year-old that wrote this? Rare 1991 flax plant and royal 1 pound coin Eridicus et Tutamen upside down. That doesn't write like a really easy to understand listing. Extremely rare US coins. So I better see more than one, because you did use the letter S in coins to signify multiples. And here we go. We got another friggin' zero feedback score. The reason why I'm being so incredibly tough on these folks is that there is no shame in knowing that you really are trying to deceive people. $2,200 and the theft of that kind of money is grand theft in every state in the United States. All right, that is a felony. So do not think for a second that you could do something like this and get away with it. But at the same time, it's also refreshing to come on here and take a look at just the dumb amount of these type of listings. I mean, just in the last, I don't know, 15 minutes that we've done this video, there is clearly about 10 listings. And we haven't even gone through about 30, 40 listings. There's about a third of these listings that are just like this bicentennial quarter. And no, there aren't multiple coins in this listing. As it says, extremely rare US coins. There is only one coin right there, that bicentennial, with only 3 images. And they're all bad. All terrible. This listing is terrible. And very uneducated. But I would say 1 out of the 10 really don't know anything about coins. But if they wanted to know coins, they should come to the live coin Q&A panel, you know, and check it out. If you want to learn, and you want the knowledge, and you want to start off with baby steps, that is the best thing that you can do for yourself. But that's what I wanted to talk about. All right, and this person has relisted their coin, and it's been kicked. But to kind of recap what Mr. Joe Cronin had said in the live stream video last night, that there is an extremely small percentage of error coins that you can find out of circulation that's worth any sort of measurable amount of premium. And he's right. Again, if you guys check out my Monday market or my pocket change market report, you'll see that out of the 300, 400, 500 listings that I go through and scrub to find the top like 30, I mean, those are the legit ones. All the other ones are like, you know, they're either graded coins, which I talk about as something that I don't discuss on the PCMR, but you also have just an absolute ton of people that just don't know how to attribute their errors and varieties. And seeing as how there's a lot more free money or profit money, just easy crypto kind of money coming into coins and currency and PMs, that there needs to be a little bit more better awareness of what's out there and really double check to see what you're trying to buy. eBay is feast and famine sometimes. It's been like that since the dawn of man. It doesn't matter how many modifications or safeguards that eBay throws out there to protect the buyer. There is always going to be that individual selling stuff like this and actually getting away with it. And we need to stop those kind of like practices out there, because they are far and wide, ladies and gentlemen. But there you go. That's what I wanted to talk about. I want to thank you guys for joining in on this video. Nice, engaging, short, sweet, however you want to call it. Hopefully you got a few takeaways from it. Again, it is very, very prominent that all this stuff is going on eBay, on Facebook, on Instagram. Please, please, please protect yourself at all costs when you're trying to buy these coins, and there's a large amount of money involved. All right. But that's going to go ahead and do it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for instant notifications. You know how it works. Coinaholics, we are discovering together. I want to thank you guys for your support, and I will see you on the next coin video. Take care and so long.